Oh, hello, everybody. Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area, and a lot has happened since I talked to y'all last. I took a day off, I'm sorry. But I'm back in California now, made it out of the blizzard. Hope you listened to 49ers talk after the game. We gave some pretty honest opinions about what we think is going to go on with the 49ers for the rest of the season. They've got 5 games left, but again, a lot has happened. So the big news, of course, is that Christian McCaffrey has gone on IR. He's on injured reserve, doubtful that he plays again. Kyle Shanahan says the recovery is about 6 weeks. So 5 games left. He won't play in the regular season, but if by chance the 49ers make it to the postseason, there is a chance that Christian McCaffrey does come back and play. Same thing for Jordan Mason. He has not been placed on IR yet, but he could. He has a high ankle sprain. He looked fine after the game. When I saw him in the locker room, he was having his right arm taped up. I mean, maybe he got cleated or something happened, but he was getting his right arm kind of taped up or bandaged up, and he seemed to be walking fine. So it kind of popped up, maybe the pressurization of the long flight home. I'm not sure what happened, but he has a high ankle sprain. As far as the other injuries that are going on, Kevin Givens also going to go on IR, torn pectoral muscle. He just got back after 4 games off. I mean, just this defensive line is decimated, really tough. Kyle Shanahan also gave us updates on Nick Bosa. He's going to be evaluated this week. Maybe he'll return, maybe not. Trent Williams, same thing. We also found out that Trent Williams lost his son, stillborn, and his twin sister just a few weeks earlier. We're not sure how much earlier, but his twins were lost, unfortunately, before birth. They were stillborn. Just so sad. This team has had the absolute worst luck this year. When you think about it, Charvarius Ward lost his daughter. Williams lost his twin children. Ricky Pearsall was shot. Countless people on injured reserve. Um, yeah, so it's just one of those weird seasons. I had been trying not to say it was 2020 because 2020 everything happened at the beginning, and like I think by week 4 we're like, this is gonna just be kind of an off year. Also, it was the COVID year, so we didn't get to travel, but 2020 just felt like totally weird. This one I always felt like there was some hope. They were going to get some momentum at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. So more news from Kyle Shanahan. Trent Williams does want to come back. Last week, remember I said on here he was around this team the week before and he didn't practice all week, but then played. Then the next week he was gone. I was like, okay, this is not a good sign that he's been gone. Well, he was dealing with the family tragedy. Kyle Shanahan said he went back to his hometown where his family is to say goodbye. And then they cremated the son just a few days later. So he should be back. He wants to play again. It's just his ankle is not responding to treatment the way they would like it to. So it's still swollen, it's still sore. So Trent Williams may be able to come back, just kind of seeing how he practices this week. Brock Purdy is not on the injury report at all. So even though he tackled a guy I think on an interception, that is his shoulder is fine. So he's fine. Deommodore Lenoir, knee contusion from that last game. He sat out of this game. He should be coming back. Kyle Shanahan said he's feeling better. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles also. Dre Greenlaw, they will test him out and kind of see how he feels. And Talanoa Hufanga, they're probably going to open the practice window for him. So lots of injury news. I did a list of the players that have missed games, and it is a laundry list. Holy cow. Oh, also, Aaron Banks is still on the in the concussion protocol. So is Jordan Elliott. So there is that as well. The 49ers did sign off of the New York Jets practice squad. And let me get his name correct. It is Israel Abanikanda. Israel Abanikanda. I expect him to be on the practice squad, or I mean, to not have as big of a role. I think they signed him to the practice squad. So he's not going to have a huge role. They may bump him up for game day, but I do think Isaac Guerendo gets most of the snaps. Isaac Guerendo, 4.33 speed. I think he'll add some energy to this offense. But Patrick Taylor, big guy, different size and shape than the other running backs that they have. I think he's 6 foot, he's 200 and something pounds. He's a bigger guy. So Patrick Taylor comes to has been on the team. He was on the team before Christian came back. They were looking they released him, put him back on the practice squad. So he's a guy that, knows the offense pretty well. Israel Abanikanda, also outside zone runner. So those 2, 3 could be a good kind of running back trio in the backfield. Um, But man, just the injury list continues. It is so tough, and it'll be interesting to see how the 49ers can, if can they beat a Bears team that is has lost its head coach and is, maybe a little re-energized because of the last, the new coach, the new people in the building. I don't know. And let's see. Chicago lost to the Detroit Lions, but it's Detroit Lions. So, I mean, they could. I don't know. Anyway, Chicago's a little bit shorter week coming to the West Coast. They played on Sunday night, I believe. Was that Sunday night? I think so. Um, anyways, it's going to be a tough road for the 49ers no matter what. No matter how you dice it, slice it up, it is going to be tough because you're without Christian McCaffrey, you're without Jordan Mason. Jordan Elliott is out, Kevin Givens is out, Nick Bosa may be out, Trent Williams. I mean, and then even at the guys that like have made it back, there's still a ton of guys. George Kittle has missed time. Brandon Ayuk has gone for the season. Javon Hargrave out for the season. Yetur Gross-Matos is back playing, but he started out the season on IR from that injury in the preseason game against the Raiders. Talanoa Hufanga off and on the injured reserve. Um, Jacob Cowing missed a game for concussion. So Ricky Pearsall missed the entire first part of the season because he was shot. Trevor Ward has missed time for personal reasons. So it's just been like a myriad of just stuff. You can use another word if you want. But I still see potential and talent on the team. Now, there's been a lot of questions about the defense. The defense played horribly in Buffalo. Slipping, sliding all over there. Is it a cleat issue? I know they were having issues on both sides, but really it felt like it was much harder for the 49ers on that turf. So I did ask Kyle Shanahan what he thought about the defense. And, I'm like, are you pleased? Are you happy with Nick Sorensen as your defense coordinator? And he said yes. And I'll read you the quote of what he said. He said he's very satisfied with Nick Sorensen. And yes, I'm very satisfied with Nick. I'm not at all satisfied with the results and how it's going right now, but some of the mistakes that we've made, I don't know or what's happened there in these last 2 weeks. I don't think it's a schematic issue. So he's not saying it's the scheme. Last year with Steve Wilkes, it was the scheme. It wasn't going the right way, as wasn't approved as far as Kyle Shanahan was concerned. It's more fundamental. It's them not tackling. It's missing tackles. It's letting, guys run through they allowed 220 yards on the ground, which is their highest of the season. They've only done it once last season. Something on the defense has got to give. And I don't know how they play better, but they need to figure it out. So they head back to practice. They had Tuesday off. Wednesday, they will practice again. I'll be up there, so I'll give you more updates from there. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Jennifer Lee Chan, NBC Sports. Definitely check out all my articles that I've written on NBCSportsBayArea.com. I wrote about Trent Williams and Trevor Ward, what Kyle Shanahan thinks about Nick Sorensen, the PFF grades, all the stuff to get you ready for this week. So please subscribe and leave comments and let me know what you'd like to hear next. Talk to you guys soon.